Okay, so this is day one of getting to know my herbs slowly. So we have tonify the yin, which is going to be the focus this week. And I put them in this basket so I can kind of like randomly select it. Kind of like a tarot card or an oracle card. And today we have Shí Hú or Shí Hú. It says properties are sweet, slightly salty, bland, slightly cold, channels are kidney and stomach. Okay, so I'm gonna see if this is an herb that I can just boil really quickly to try and decoct, and I'll look that up and I'll be right back. So I found it in my Materia Medica. Usually I would look at my instructor's videos that he posted, but it's a little bit early and he hasn't posted it yet. We're gonna read the contraindications. So it says this herb can have the effect of retaining pathogens and aiding dampness. Should not be used in early stages of warm pathogen disease, especially damp warmth that is not yet transformed into heat. It is also contraindicated in those with loose stool due to spleen deficiency or those with a thick, greasy tongue coating. Okay, so this is probably not the best herb for me to take today, but I still think it will be relatively safe for me to boil and to try. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and this is what we're going to boil. I smelled it. I can't really say it smells like anything significant. It smells like an herb. It's not like crazy bitter like some of the herbs that I smell. It's just kind of light. Anyway, we're gonna put it in here. We're just gonna boil it for a little while, probably until the water like halves. So while that's boiling, I'm just gonna take you through my creative process. This is the Soft Life Oracle Herbal Journal. It's like a daily herb journal that I made. And so I'm just using that and filling out some of this information straight from the Materia Medica. I would usually use the videos that my instructor puts out as well as his slideshows because that will tell me exactly what's going to be on the test. I've went ahead and just written down some things that aren't going to change. So the common name is Dendrobium. And like we said, it's Shí Hú. I'm not very good at writing Chinese. So here's the Latin. And then like we said, it tonifies the yin. The flavor is sweet and salty, and the nature is slightly cool. Oh, we didn't do channels entered. Let's see if we can, okay, so channels entered are the kidney and the stomach. So I'm just gonna use my Sharpie to highlight the kidney, oops, and the stomach. Okay, and then I wrote a couple of notes, like the dosage is 6 to 12 grams, nourishes the stomach and expels heat from deficiency. Contraindications, warm pathogen disease, damp warmth, loose stool from spleen deficiency. I've left some of these blank because I want to make sure that I'm writing exactly what my instructor has on his slides because there's a lot of information here. So I want to see like what he emphasizes, but generally it seems that it is for stomach yin deficiency or possibly, associated with wasting and thirsting disorder. And it says it enriches the kidney yin and reduces heat from deficiency, etc. So it says symptoms that you might want to use this herb for are when you need to clear excess heat and generate fluids. Symptoms such as parched mouth, severe thirst, or intractable fever with yin deficiency. And like I said, when my instructor puts out the videos, I'll learn a lot more about it that I need to know. But in the meantime, I still want to get started kind of generating my idea for what animal that I think it's associated with, because I noticed from taking my first midterm that the cards that I actually had animal oracle cards for, I remembered much better. And here's an example of some of the cards that I've been working on. They're kind of terribly printed. But all this information is like taken exactly from my instructor's slides including like these pictures right here because I want to make sure that when I take the test, I know what it is. But he actually just gave us like plates of the regular herb that we could identify from our test. So it wasn't anything that crazy. This is one of my favorite herbs from the last category that we did. This is warm the interior and expel the cold. This was really helpful. The scenery and remembering what it actually does, because this is one of the herbs that helps with like things with rebellious Qi. And so we have like 2 wolves, and wolves are territorial, so they each have their own territory, and this kind of wolf is like, hey, go back to your territory. And part of that inspiration was how this herb actually redirects rebellious Qi downward and stops vomiting, and that came up like exactly on my test. And it was really helpful because usually as soon as I see this written anywhere or I hear it, this exact image comes into my mind, and there's a lot of symbology that's sometimes like hidden within the image that I can dissect. So it's almost like an instant, I guess, recall for me. And here's another one. You can see that it disperses cold, which you have the wolf protecting like an injured wolf from these like foxes. So kind of cool. Yeah, this is my project. So I'm gonna keep working on this while my stuff boils, and I'll get back to you later.